So do you create a mental picture of how that film should sound even before you start shooting? Or?
Yes, exactly. There is a visualization of sound. I create a sound script and I work towards it. And when we are shooting, I'm actually collecting my raw materials. Like for example, 2.0, which is Endiran 2, Robo 2. We've been in making for the last 5-6 months now, more than a month. And we are thinking of sounds. I'm doing recordings and I'm going to the shoot. Even though we are not doing live sound, I'm going there, sitting there, watching, looking at the footages, discussing, and I've already mentally started working on the film. Right. So it's a whole new process. Right. And I'm you keep watching things, you see what is the trend. Right. And what is today's youth's taste. Right. Everything has to cater towards the youth. So yeah, I mean, for example, Remo, I've been thinking about it for the last 9 months. Right. Been working on it, and Remo has posed me one of the biggest technical challenges so far I have dealt with.
What is that technical challenge?
Remo is about this boy who falls in love with this girl, and he changes his attire to be an actor, and then he follows her as a girl. And when they were when they started we discussed the script with me, we all arrived at one element, is that we will not dub the girl with somebody else, so another girl. That's a no-no. And SK never wanted him to be imitating a girl. In the film there is always he switched between the man and the man and the woman, the male's element and the female. He keeps switching in terms of sound. So we wanted to create a voice for Remo, the character, a believable, not very different from his own voice, not an imitation voice. So to me, to deal with that, it was a huge technical challenge, that he is going to speak as himself. It is very easy to say that you put makeup and you become a girl, you change costumes, you mark makeup, you do the hair, and there's nothing tangible in sound. I can't touch anything, I have to work with it, what I have. So we new softwares, new gadgets, new many things. We tried and tested and tried and tested and tried and tested. Then we arrived at, okay, this is it. That's what you would enjoy when you watch the film.
Right. So Remo is easily one of the most fun films that you have worked on, right? And also one of the most anticipated films right now. So what is it that actually got you to sign on this project?
After I would say Nanban and 3 Idiots is one of the most entertaining film I have worked with. And even if I've watched the film like 50,000 times, I'm still cracking up, and it gives joy to people. That's my most important aspect of this film. And it's written by Bakiraj Kannan, and I think he's one of the brilliant young writers and a director who's come out. I would I told him, like, in the next 5 years, he would be known as the next Raju Hirani.
Wow, that's a compliment.
He has that kind of a gifted boy, and when he narrated the script to me, I instantly fell in love with the film. And then when they came to me, I was wondering, why it's a boy next door, girl next door kind of a story. It's a love story. Why are they come to me? And as the story evolved, I realized that, oh, this is the reason why they've come to me. And I fell in love with the film, and we signed up, and we've been working, and myself and Anirudh is working after 3 for the first time. And so there were a lot of new things. P.C. Sriram, whose work we have, as a college student, I have seen and grown up with, working with him in a film of this scale. So for me, it's a very rewarding thing.
Right. When I met Siva earlier, he told me this was one of the most demanding and challenging films for him, and you seem to also echo the same thoughts. So what did you have to work differently for this film obviously he had to change his getup, but did you have to work something differently?
I think the biggest challenge for me was I had to be truthful to SK's performances. I had to be truthful to an actor and his thought process, you know. There were a lot of technical possibilities, and there were a lot of gadgets and softwares and plugins were available to do things, but nothing would have done justice to it, you know. There are days in the last week I sat in that room and almost like dejected and lost, you know, didn't know what to do, you know. I felt that I'm good for nothing, you know. Then you bounce back. SK comes and we listen to things. He says, sir, we'll work. So the most number of days that we have, you know, dubbed for a film is this one,
Right.
because I made him dub the whole film at least 4 times over.
Oh,
You know?
is it the girls portion or the entire film?
Especially the girls portion. The girls portion is quite a bit on the film.
Right.
You know, girls portion he must have dubbed like almost 5 times, because we do one thing and we realize that okay, this is a problem. The software is not working in these lines. We go back, we redo it. Then we find some other gadgets,
Right.
you know, which is working better. We come that. So the last session of dubbing that we have done was a combination of him, the gadgets, the softwares, the plugins, and everything put together. And we you know, so it's all an approximation. It's all how as a sound mixer I am relating to his performances, and it becomes that. It becomes what is in your fingertips and what you're hearing and how you're hearing and things like that. So there's a lot of myself invested in those dialogues, you know.
Right.
There's a lot of me as a person trying to do justice to him,
Right.
you know.
Rasul sir, so during shoots you usually shoot outdoors, and as part of your job you have to capture the ambient sound, but is it technically very challenging, especially in India where it's too chaotic, right? So how do you actually try and gather the sound?
To say it is technically chaotic, it is difficult, all that is, I done Slumdog. I won an Oscar for Slumdog in live sound mixing,
Right.
you know.
Yes.
So we done it, and it was all shot in Bombay. Nothing
Yes.
was under control. Films like Gajni,